Welcome to the Storyboard featurette for Xero. I'd like to give you a little background on how I went about creating the storyboards. I used a program called Poser, which is predominantly a 3D figure creation tool. That's what it specializes in, but I used it to create the storyboards because it gave me a tremendous amount of flexibility as opposed to drawing it by hand. Now in Poser, you have basic objects like cubes and spheres and rectangles, and I use those to construct my Zero and the world around him, like buildings and doorways and props that he would hold in the storyboard. And it was all very basic, but it gave me a good idea of the scene and what was going to be in it and what I had to consider, like the objects in space that Zero had to deal with. And once I've created that little scene, I used the camera within Poser to fly around the scene and figure out what angles I wanted. And I could even use lights within Poser to generate the kind of mood that I was after. And this was all very helpful because if I was to do this by hand, and I'm not a very good illustrator, I'd be there for a lot longer trying to encapsulate the vision that I had floating around in my head. Now, the reason why each frame looks pencil drawn is because Poser allows you to export your 3D images in a number of different styles. And one of those is pencil. There's also, watercolor and crayon and chalk and those sorts of things. So it kind of gives you a feel of a traditional hand-drawn storyboard whilst utilizing the benefits of a 3D program. Once each frame was exported, I assembled the storyboard in Photoshop. And in Photoshop, I was able to add additional things that I couldn't do in Poser. So it allowed me to complete the overall look of each shot. And of course, I could add cell numbers and descriptions of what happens in each frame.